Hi all, I am Sumitra, Associate Professor, EC Department, RMK Engineering College. Our topic today is a glimpse on optical fiber communication. As the topic is related to optics, let me start with how light lights up our day-to-day activities. I can say light is life. We cannot imagine our life without light. From the first ray of sun in the morning to the lamp in the night, light accompanies us in all the activities. In modern life, three most important sources of light which I think make major impact on our life are the sun, the light emitting diode LED and the laser. We always come across these sources in one way or the other. The sun is undoubtedly the most important one. It is a constant source of energy for us. From photosynthesis, which is responsible for making food in plants, to the beautiful world we see, and to meeting our energy requirements, the sun is very important to our life. In recent years, there has been tremendous advancement in the area of solar photovoltaic, a process which converts light into electrical energy through variety of materials. In future, a thin film polymer solar cells can be coated on your car and help to generate electricity while you drive in the sun. So solar energy is the only clean energy option that can meet the energy requirements of our future generation as the petroleum energy sources getting exhausted rapidly. Second important light source on my list is the LED. This tiny source of light is not only lighting up our world in a big way but also creating high resolution display screens for our smartphones, computers, and televisions. After the sun sets down, LEDs are probably the most seen source of light around us, be it in indicators in electronic devices, in traffic signal lights, remote controls, toys, or decorative items. Advancement in organic LEDs have made it quite efficient and flexible too. White LED lamps are replacing fluorescent tube lights rapidly, and white LEDs are creating high resolution display screens. No wonder the Nobel Prize in Physics 2014 went to the blue LED, which was crucial to create white light. The third most important source of light that influenced our life is laser. Soon after its invention in 1960, this highly coherent, directional, and powerful source of light brought revolution and gave birth to several new branches of science and engineering. Advancement in nonlinear optics, holographic, precision cutting, welding, drilling, laser guided defense equipments, and most importantly, today's topic optical telecommunication could be possible only because of this laser. Using this laser, data can be read and from and written to a compact disk. Missiles can be guided by laser beam. Pictures and videos can be shared with our friends thousands of miles away. So thanks to advancement in lasers, I can say these lasers have made our world very small through optical telecommunication. So the basic needs of a human being in the olden days, when we say the basic needs are food, shelter, and clothing. Now I can say communication is our fourth most important basic need, and that too optical telecommunication has made the flow of information considerably fast. Voice, video, and internet data ride on light from a laser diode and travel thousands of miles through hair-thin optical fiber at unprecedented rate to reach our colleagues, friends and family. That's only given in this picture where the entire globe is surrounded by this optical fiber cables, where each optical fiber cable carries the voice, video and internet data over the entire globe for communication. So, life without light is unimaginable. In the last decade, we have witnessed one of the most significant technology revolution in human history, that is nothing but telecommunications. Particularly mobile telephony has transformed several nations that have long been languishing at the bottom of the development pyramid. As per GSMA report, there are over 5 billion mobile connections in the developing world today, increasing at the rate of 17 per second. Mobiles have literally reached all the communities where no man has gone before. In developing countries like India, there are more people with mobile phones today than with a bank account. So, thanks to mobile communications, it provides services such as healthcare, financial services, and especially education will eventually become available to these billions of people. Optical fiber is an invisible link. Yes, is true, because whenever we talk about mobile communication, so it's in the role of wireless technologies. So wireless technology is widely recognized and you are all familiar with the terms 2G, 3G, 4G, GSM, CDMA and LTE. But the importance of light-based technologies in sparking the mobile economy has surprisingly gone unnoticed. Yes, mobile is evidently wireless. So you also may think, what does light have to do with it? Yes, what you are asking is true. There is no wired link from your mobile phone to the neighboring cell tower, but optical fiber technology forms the backbone of today's telecom networks. So that's only it's shown here, where this optical network provides a transparency optical cable where it carries the digitized data, either it is video, voice or internet data, from one network to the other network is being possible only through this optical network. So optical network forms the backbone of today's telecom networks. 95% of all kinds of telecommunication traffic, whether emanating from land phones, mobile phones or modems, eventually land on an optical fiber network at a cell tower, a telephone exchange or at a local service provider office. Optical networks utilize fiber cables comprising hundreds of thin strands of special transparent glass that are laid underground and hence remain hidden from public view. Telecom operators use laser-based optical networking equipment to aggregate voice and internet traffic from the neighborhood and transmit them digitally as modulated light waves on these glass fibers. For example, a single fiber strand is capable of carrying tens of terabits of traffic today through modern techniques called dense light wave multiplexing and coherent optical processing. So, without such light-based technologies, the telecommunication networks of today cannot be scaled to deliver thousands of services to billions of subscribers using mobile or home broadband networks. So, apart from offering virtually unlimited bandwidth, transmission over optic fiber is more reliable. It's not affected by impairments such as electromagnetic interference and weather. Signal losses in fiber is also very low, so data can be economically transmitted over thousands of kilometers without having expensive electronic equipments for the need for signal regeneration. While the first phase of telecom growth is driven by voice services, as you know, it's about only telephonic conversation. Now, the current phase is data dominated. The advent of smartphones, high definition video, and always on social media applications have made things even more exciting for optical communications. Now, it is essential for telecommunication carriers to take optical fiber links closer to the subscribers through FTTH. So, FTTH is nothing but fiber to the home. So, the quality of service experience and access speeds on FTTH will therefore be significantly better compared to wireless infrastructure. So hence, beside laying new optical fiber cables, large utility providers such as railways, oil and gas, power transmission companies are also unbundling their abundant fiber resources and making them available for broadband delivery to the citizens. So I can say optical fiber infrastructure is becoming as crucial as consumer utilities like electricity, water and gas because of its potential to deliver a host of applications like telemedicine, e-governance, e-learning and online banking to reach the remote villages too. So with this introduction on optical fiber, how optical network plays a vital role in telecommunication, we'll get into the introduction of optical fiber communication. It is a method of transmitting information from one place to another by sending light through an optical fiber. Light forms an electromagnetic carrier wave that is modulated to carry information. Fiber optic is a unique and wonderful medium for optical communication and transmission. The first major advantage is fiber high transmission capacity. Optical fiber can carry information at higher data rates over very long distance. Optical fiber are made of dielectric material, so fibers are immune to radiation and conducting interference. It is nearly impossible to tap an optical fiber, therefore fiber optic transmission is very secure compared to any other medium of communication. Optical fiber is small and lightweight, which is one of the major issues whenever weight and bulk are a practical concern. This shows the electromagnetic spectrum starting from 50 Hz to 10 power 60 Hz, which includes a fiber optics in the range of 10 power 14 to 10 power 15. So it is in the range of terahertz. Frequency is directly proportional to bandwidth. As it provides in the range of terahertz, the bandwidth is higher, which is the major advantage of fiber optic cable. It can able to provide enormous potential bandwidth. So in the spectrum, starting from the lower range, 60 Hz is meant for electrical power frequency, 3 kHz is for audio frequency, 1000 kHz is for AM broadcast radio frequency, and 3 into 10 power 7 Hz for very high frequency, 3 into 10 power 8 Hz for ultra high frequency, and 3 GHz for microwave radio frequency, where 10 power 14 to 10 power 15 terahertz range is for our optical fiber communication. So always while we are referring the optical, it can be referred only with the term of frequency, term of wavelength rather than a frequency. It's from 850 nanometer to 1625 nanometer. As you know, frequency and wavelength are inversely proportional. So for higher frequencies, it is convenient to refer with respect to the range of wavelength. So the wavelength ranges from 850 nanometer to 1625 nanometer, and it is in the spectrum of infrared rather than in the visible light. Light is commonly used to refer to visible light that occupies a tiny portion of electromagnetic spectrum from 391 to 770 nanometer. Here the visible light spectrum is from 400 to 700 nanometer, that is 391 to 770 nanometer accurately. Due to the transmission properties of optical fibers, light wave systems use radiation with wavelength ranging from approximately 800 to 1600 nanometer. These wavelengths actually belong to infrared portion of electromagnetic spectrum, but the term light wave is commonly used when referring to them. Light used as a carrier in optical fiber transmission system is an electromagnetic wave with a wavelength around 1 micrometer and oscillation frequency of about 300 terahertz. Fiber optic operation wavelengths are at 850 nanometer for multimode fiber, 1310 nanometer for multi and single mode fiber, 1550 nanometer for single mode long haul and transoceanic fiber, 1625 nanometer is proposed for in-service monitoring. This multi-mode single mode refers the fiber configurations that we'll discuss in the coming sessions. As you all know, a general communication system includes source, media and destination. So message source, where it gets the input message, transducer converts the message into an electrical signal, transmitter transmits your signal through the channel, where at the receiver side we have an output transducer. Again it converts your electrical signal to the output message and reach to the end user. This is the general communication system. In optical communication system, it consists of information source, electrical transmit, where using the optical source, the electrical signal converts into the light energy. Light gets into an optical fiber. Light carries the data of information to the optical detector, where it again converts your light energy into electrical energy, and through the electrical receiver it reaches the destination. So these three main blocks, optical source, optical fiber cable and optical detector, composes your optical fiber communication system. Optical source includes LED and laser, as you know. Optical detector includes photodiode of type either PAN or APD, avalanche photodiode. Let me see the detailed block diagram of optical fiber communication system, which can be used for long distance communication. Here the transmitter includes the drive circuit and the light source, and the receiver includes the photodetector, amplifier and signal restorer, and media is nothing but the optical cable, optical fiber cable, in which we need the additional components in order to provide long distance communication, or fiber flylet, optical connector, optical splice, optical coupler or beam splitter, and the repeater, which again converts your optical signal into electrical signal, boost up your electrical signal and then transmit as your optical signal so that it can be carried through the optical fiber to the destination. We will see the block one by one. Transmitter. An electrical signal is applied to optical transmitter. Optical transmitter consists of driver circuit, light source and fiber flylet. Driver circuit drives the light source. Light source converts electrical signal into optical signal. Fiber flylet is used to connect optical signal to optical fiber. An optical fiber is a glass or plastic fiber that carries light along its length. Light is kept in the core of optical fiber by total internal reflection. Total internal reflection concept is very well used for light propagation inside the core region that we'll discuss in the coming sessions. Optical splice is used to permanently join two individual optical fiber. Optical connector is for temporary non-fixed joint between two individual optical fiber. Optical coupler or splitter provides signal to other devices. Repeater converts optical signal into electrical signal using optical receiver. It passes it to electronic circuit where it is reshaped and amplified as it gets attenuated and distorted with increasing distance because of scattering, absorption and dispersion in waveguides. The signal is then again converted into optical signal by optical transmitter. Photodetector available at the receiver side. Photodetector converts optical signal to electrical signal. Usual photodetector will be PIN diode and avalanche photodiode, which converts the light signal into electrical signal. Signal restorer and amplifier are used to improve SNR of the signal to noise ratio of the signal. For short distance communication, we can use LED as your source and fiber of type multimode step index fiber detector PIN detector. For long distance communication, along with the main elements, there is a need for coupler, beam splitter, repeater, optical amplifier, and we can use laser diode as a source, single mode fiber and detector avalanche photodiode. This multi-mode step index, single mode, graded index, it all shows the fiber configurations that we'll discuss in the coming sessions. Advantages: a large potential bandwidth, small size and weight, electrical isolation, immunity to interference and crosstalk, signal security, low transmission loss, system reliability and ease of maintenance, ruggedness and flexibility, low cost and availability. We'll see in detail. Much higher bandwidth, that is in range of gigabits per second. Thousands of channels can be multiplexed together over one strand of fiber. Immunity to noise. It's immune to electromagnetic interference. Safety. It doesn't transmit electrical signal, making it safe in environments like gas pipeline. High security. Impossible to tap into. Less loss. Repeaters can be spaced 75 miles apart. That is, fiber can be made to have only 0.2 decibel per kilometer of attenuation. Reliability. More resilient than copper in extreme environmental conditions. Size. It's lighter and more compact than copper. Flexibility. Unlike impure brittle gas, fiber is physically very flexible. Applications. It is very well used in medical industry. Because of extremely thin and flexible nature, it is used in various instruments to view internal body parts by inserting into hollow spaces in the body. It is used as lasers during surgeries, endoscopy, microscopy and biomedical research. And communication. In the communication system, telecommunication has major uses of optical fiber cables for transmitting and receiving purposes. It is used in various networking fields and even increases the speed and accuracy of the transmission data. Defense. Fiber optics are used for data transmission in high-level data security field of military and aerospace applications. They are used in wirings in aircrafts, hydrophones for sonars and seismic applications. Industries. They transmit information in lightning speed and are used in airbags and traction control. They are also used for research and testing purposes in industries. Broadcasting. These cables are used to transmit high definition television signals which has a greater bandwidth and speed. Broadcasting companies use optical fibers for wiring HDTV, cable TV, video on demand and many applications. Lighting and decorations. It also gives an attractive and economical easy way to illuminate the area. So it is widely used in decorations and Christmas trees. Mechanical inspections. On-site inspection engineers use optical fibers to detect damages and faults which are at hard to reach places. Even plumbers use optical fibers for inspection of pipes. Next we'll get into history of optical fiber communication. A first generation, that is in 1975, the fiber optic communication system was operated at the length of around zero point 0.2 micrometer, that is 800 nanometer, and used gallium arsenide semiconductor laser. The operated bitrate of the system was 45 megabits per second with repeater spacing of up to 10 km. Second generation, in the early 1980s, fiber optic communication system was operated at a wavelength around 1.3 micrometer, that is 1300 nanometer, and used indium gallium arsenide phosphate semiconductor laser. The operated bitrate of the system was up to 1.7 gigabits per second with the repeater spacing up to 50 km. Third generation, fiber optic communication system was operated at the wavelength around 1500 nanometer, that is 1.55 micrometer, and used dispersion shifted fibers. Operated bitrate of system was commercially at 2.5 gigabits per second with repeater spacing in excess of 100 km. Fourth generation, the OFC used optical communication amplifications method and operated bitrate was extended up to 14 terabits per second. Fifth generation, which extending the wavelength range over which a WDM system can operate. WDM is nothing but wavelength division multiplexing, like your TDM and FDM concepts in communication. It is the practice of multiplying the available capacity of an optical fiber by adding new channels, each channel on a wavelength of light. This requires a wavelength division multiplexer in the transmitting equipment and demultiplexer in the receiving equipment. Using WDM technology, now commercially available, the bandwidth of a fiber can be divided into as many as 160 channels to support a combined bit rate into the range of terabits per second. That's what it is possible to download a HD movie in a second, and we can able to do video on demand, and all the media applications is possible only with this optical fiber acting as the backbone of the network. Fiber optic cable. So it's a relatively new transmission medium used by telephone companies in the place of long distance trunk line. It is used by private companies in implementing local data networks. It requires a light source with injection laser diode or light emitting diode. It takes the fiber to the desktop in the near future. Optical fiber consists of core, cladding, and protective outer coating, which guides light along the core by total internal reflection. This is the structure of optical fiber, which includes core, a thin glass center of the fiber where light enters, and cladding, the outer optical material surrounding the core, and a buffer coating as a protective layer. The core has high refractive index and lower refractive index cladding are typically made of high quality silica glass, and though the both can be made of plastic as well. So it has three concentric sections, as I said earlier: fiber core, glass or plastic loading, and a plastic jacket. It can be made either as both plastic core and cladding, or by glass core with plastic cladding, or by glass core and glass cladding. So this is the end of the session in which we discussed the introduction about optical fiber communication, how optics plays a major role in telecommunication network, and optical fiber communication generation, advantages, applications, elements, and about optical fiber construction. In the next session, we'll see about how light gets propagated inside the optical fiber. Thank you.